Recording? Recording? That's pretty cool. Hey everybody, I have a new camera set up and wanted to test it out. Thought I would show some of last week's figure drawing session stuff. Last week was a little different. Ah, jeez, crap. I guess my brain's just not here. One person in one pose for the whole time in costume. So I was able to get in a few different drawings, 4 done in about a 3-hour period. There's some breaks, you know, in the 3 hours. So I thought I'd just show you what I did, and maybe that would be a fun way to test out the new setup, see if it's not shaking too much, see if my sound is actually working. That would be good. And hopefully it will focus a bit better. Here's the first thing I started out with. It started out okay, and then it just kind of got progressively worse as I put layers on it. Usually I work in watercolor and you have to go from light to dark and build that way. But this time I had gouache, and gouache is sort of, it's like an opaque watercolor. You can mix it like watercolor and you can even use it like watercolor. Like you can see some places you have a bit of a watercolor effect, the pencil comes through, but other places it's completely opaque. And so I was trying to build darks to lights like you would if you were using oil paint or when you're using acrylic paint. As you layer, you get more detailed, and you're going to have more detail where there's more light. This one didn't work out too well, so I even had folded it in half and in shame and stuck it in my backpack before I started the next one. Now let me see if these are even in order. No, they're not in order. And this is just a random watercolor pad that I had. It's not great paper, which kind of makes the studies even harder to do because I can't take a lot of layers of water. That's the thing about nicer quality watercolor paper. There's a freshness that you lose each time you put down watercolor layers, and the nicer your paper is, the more layers you can put down and the more you can do with it before it loses that lifishness. Yeah, let's go lifishness. Here's attempt number 2. Still kind of cartoony again. She had this like funny feather hat thing going on that I didn't capture very well. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying. That's all this is I'm just trying. I was missing some of my gouache colors, and I was trying to convince myself to keep doing the gouache anyways instead of just moving to watercolor, because I had brought my watercolors, but I wanted to try to force myself to do something different. I'm not sure if that was a good idea, but it's what I did. This at least it went somewhere. It's a lot better than my previous attempt where I just sort of completely gave up. I got, you know, it's not all bad. There's some decent stuff in there. It just got overworked very quickly. It looks very, you can see the paper looks very worn. And this one went, I think, a lot better overall. I ran into the problem again of overworking some parts of it really quickly. By this point, I realized that the paper just couldn't take more than like 2 or 3 layers without starting to look terrible. So this one I felt worked out a little better. I felt like I blocked in some of the shapes pretty well, but I started to realize not only did I need to be able to put down more layers, what did I need? Oh crap. Gouache dries very different in color from what you put down. So I would put down these darks, and then when they dry, they become a lot lighter. It's very frustrating because I would put stuff down and be like, oh yeah, that's a very deep, rich color. And now it's dry and I'm looking at it and it's not particularly deep or rich. Not in comparison to what I was hoping it would be. But, I mean, there's definitely an improvement, I think, in at least, like, shape. Like, looking at what's actually there versus sort of making it simplified and cartoonish. I like the color scheme going on here better. But here you definitely have a much more closer to life capture of what the face and stuff actually look like. So that one I was pretty happy with at the time. Now I'm not so happy with it, but that's the way it goes. So the last 10 minutes I was able to just block in something real quick. I like this because it's just kind of loose, even though it's only like the first half of a painting. Sometimes that's nice. So that's basically what I did last week at figure drawing. And so this week, I believe we're going back to just the regular timed figure drawing with multiple poses and naked people. Oh no! Alright, thank you for watching. If this works out, hopefully I will make another like actual painting video soon. That would be super cool.